You want stars? I'll give you stars. Hola a todos, yo soy Alexandra.
Y yo soy Pepe.
Y esto es Sola Idealis. Nos encontramos con Nicole Tompkins. Para darles algo de contexto, Nicole es la que dio su voz y el capture motion para el personaje de Jill Valentine. So, hi Nicole, how are you doing?
Hello, I'm so good. How are you guys?
I'm fine, a little nervous, but thank you for having me.
I'm also nervous. Just a little bit.
Oh, well, no need.
Okay. So, Nicole, can you tell us how was your preparation for the role of Jill Valentine, considering that you not only do the voice, but on the capture motion also? Did you have any training for it?
Yeah, so basically, going into it, I really wanted to make sure that we captured the fact that she's a professional. So I wanted to go in looking like I knew what I was doing, and hopefully kind of do her justice to this iteration of who she is. Because at this point, she's not new even to zombies. She's had the mansion, has all the PTSD from that incident, and so we're seeing her, in 3, where of course she has a whole new issue to deal with, but at this point she's been around a little bit, she's figured it out, and she's working hard to uncover the rest of the narrative. So preparation wise, I was surrounded by an amazing team of people that not only are passionate and amazing artists, but also huge fans of the series. So I was in such good hands as far as making sure that our choices were, aligned with who and what Jill would kind of manifest as in the different situations. So preparation, I had all kinds of different things as far as what I do on the acting side, and how I approach the material, and then also the physical side. I had some amazing help from Neil Newbon, who actually does the performance capture and voice for Nikolai, as well as the mocap for Nemesis. And he was a fantastic help because he's very trained in stunts and some of that. So he was there to, coordinate and suggest, and I could always rely on him to be like, do you think this looks stronger if I lead with this foot? And same thing with our director. He was very good at knowing exactly what he wanted. So I always had someone to ask, like, should she come out with the gun here or no? That sort of kind of considerations. So I was in good hands.
Oh, a lot of help.
Yeah, always.
How do you feel when you find out you're gonna be Jill Valentine? Do you have any knowledge of the Resident Evil franchise prior to the role?
Yes and yes. So when I first got the news that I was going to play Jill, I of course was over the moon. I don't know if at that time I had like a full understanding of what it was going to mean to so many people. I knew, but I didn't know, So like I was told, fans are going to be really excited. They're going to be super excited to see Jill again. And I was like, yeah, I can't wait. It's going to be great. But then when it actually came out, just like the overwhelming support and excitement was just really rewarding, because we always want to go in and do something that people are excited about. So it's really lovely to have received such kind of a warm welcome from the RA
community. From a lot of people like backing up with the work.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. And as far as knowing about the franchise before, I definitely did, because I feel like whether or not you're a gamer, like Jill Valentine is almost a household name. Obviously you have the movies as well that went a little more mainstream to people that don't play video games, but even the video games, like they're the original, they're the OG. We know who Jill is. We've heard of her. We know that she kind of is part of this like legacy of strong female characters in video games. So she has all of that behind her. So there's a lot to live up to, but I was excited to take on that challenge.
Yes, I bet on it.
Glad to know that.
Yeah. So Resident Evil 3 Remake is a reinterpretation of a classic from the PlayStation 1 era, and one of the most loved titles by fans. Did you feel any kind of psychological or emotional pressure regarding the legacy of the original game?
Yeah, I definitely knew going into it that there was going to be some expectations for, kind of what I mean, everyone always has opinions about what they want to see, especially when they care about something. And that's awesome because that's passion. And I think with any kind of big franchise, when you actually go in to do the work, you have to put blinders on and not hear or think about any of that, because you're going to get the best, thing or performance or whatever else, the more committed you are to just being present and trusting the people that you're working with. So like I said before, it just takes a lot of trust. I had very talented actors surrounding me as well, which always makes my job easier when you get to act against people like Jeff Shine and Neil Newbon and William Hope and Darren O'Hare. They just were so, incredibly talented.
Your portrayal as Jill Valentine was highly acclaimed by fans and critics. I personally love the interpretation. I love your version of Jill Valentine. It was pretty badass. I like it a lot. And there's a question. What were the most difficult challenge you faced in your interpretation of Jill?
Like the most challenging scenes to film, or like challenging aspects of her to approach?
Of the whole aspect to be Jill Valentine, or?
Yeah, I mean, I think for sure, I really wanted to walk in and make her a full, fleshed out human being. You know what I mean? Sometimes we get characters that are just one thing. They're just badass, or they're just, cute, or they're just this. And I really wanted, a full woman to show through. And thankfully I was with a team and a script that kind of allowed that. We get to see her both as the super cop that she is. She continues to get back up with such bravery and just never seems to take that much damage. And at the same time, you see her, she's vulnerable, with the beginning of the game is probably one of the parts where you get to see that for just a moment, just the PTSD and the dreams that she's having. And then from there, it's all pretty go, but she's still, she's still vulnerable. And it's really fun to see how she reacts to the different things around her, sometimes with levity and humor, and sometimes just with absolute, what?
Like whole normal human being.
Yeah, exactly. So I don't know if that's necessarily the most challenging aspects of approaching her, but that's, kind of just the challenge of committing to bringing a naturalistic performance in a very heightened reality situation. Because I think they really were leaning towards that cinematic journey. Games are becoming more and more like movies and cinema. There's more cinematic aspects and more, commitment to seeing realistic performances and things like that. So it was really fun to kind of balance that, nostalgia-based gaminess that still, has, there's so many amazing lines rooted in the original Resident Evils that are just cheeky. And I think a lot of that got to show through even more in the multiplayer Resistance game, because she got some more of her nostalgia lines in there, and we went a little bit more cheesy for that. And then the main line kind of tried to continue to stay grounded in this new, almost, reimagining is what I hear people say of kind of that game.
50-50 interaction.
I love when you say, if you want stars, I'll give you stars, but in your own way, because that is a comic line of Jill Valentine in the original Resident Evil 3. It was pretty cool when you said it in the middle of the game. It was natural, because in a normal circumstance, someone will be pretty pissed if you got chased by a high monster, and you will want to acknowledge the fact that you are pretty pissed off about that.
I thought it was a sneaky way to kind of fit that that line in there while they still didn't want you to expect when it's coming, as a little tip of the hat.
A little pun, the final phrase.
And you have to be playing the game well to hear it, because if Nemesis hits you in that moment, it cuts her off.
Yeah.
So you better run.
Or make a perfect dodge before ending.
Exactly, if you want to hear the whole line.
Oh God.
At the end, you managed to put your own iconic line, like next time, take the hint.
Yes. Yes. It was pretty satisfying too, because it's just your final moment, and she's had so much chaos and havoc, and finally she just gets to look him in the face and be like, yeah. Take the hint.
As you have explained, like really detailed about Jill. Jill is an iconic video game character, a really strong female symbol that really had like an impact in the media. Did you feel that the character had somehow a personal impact on your life or influence?
Yeah, I mean, I could not have walked out of this experience unchanged. The entire experience of the filming process and working in Japan and the people that I worked with, and then just the fan reception and how many people are just enjoying it and loving seeing her show up in 2020. So yeah, and I also took a lot of bravery, a lot of confidence. It feels really good to be trusted with, someone that we kind of look up to. She's a very heroic character, while still human. She has many, many heroic qualities that are, almost inhuman. And so, just being trusted with that gives you a lot of, really, for me, it's gratitude mostly. Just immense appreciation. I wouldn't be where I am without the support of so many people, including all of the fans, who are the reason that these games get to continue to be told and retold and iterated on. So I'm really just grateful.
Oh, well, that's great.
Yeah.
So with that being said, we have reached the end of the interview. Thank you, Jill, for your time.
So much. It was so lovely to talk to you guys.
For making my dream come true, because
He's a fan.
I'm a big fan of the Resident Evil franchise since I was 10 years old. My first game that I played, and I believe you make a video about that game, was the remake of the first Resident Evil, and and the first character I chose between Chris and Joe was Jill. Well, my 10 years old was pretty scared because the remake can be a little scary,
A little tough.
but since then, Resident Evil is a great part of my life. In finally making an interview with someone who has been involved of the franchise is
It's an honor for us.
It's an honor.
Oh, thank you. No, the honor is all mine.
No, it's okay.
So did you want stars? Because I'll give you
stars.
Oh, yes. The fun has been said. Chicos, esto fue todo por la entrevista. Yo soy Alexandra, esta es Nicole Tompkins, soy Idealis y nos vemos en la próxima. Chao, chao.
Chao.